here's Miss Kiera to teach us more about the story of Peter and John as they teach about Jesus.
Hi everyone, I miss you all so much. I'm so glad I get to talk to you today. Today we are going to talk about how Jesus can give us the power of boldness, give us the superpower of boldness for him. What does it mean to be bold? Meaning bold is to be brave and to do things that you might not feel comfortable with. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell you a story that occurred in the book of Acts of the Bible. The book of Acts happens after Jesus rose from the dead and went back to heaven to live with God. It tells the stories of what his friends and disciples did, how they lived, what they did, and how they actually started the church that we know today. So in this story is a man that didn't walk. Nowadays, people that don't walk have the ability to be in a wheelchair. They can go to school, they can play, they can get around, and when they grow up, they can get a job and live on their own. But back then, that what didn't happen. People that didn't walk had to be carried from place to place, and they couldn't get a job. They weren't able to do the kinds of things that people did in jobs back then. So what they would do is they would stay at the temple and beg and get money from other people to help them live and to be able to buy food. So let us travel back to Jerusalem and learn about how two of Jesus' friends, Peter and John, had superhero powers of boldness for Jesus. So here we are in Jerusalem at the front of the temple gates, and along came Peter and John, two of Jesus' disciples. He comes upon a man who hasn't been able to walk from birth, and the man is laying on the ground with a cup asking people for money. So Peter and John were very, very bold and used their boldness superpowers for Jesus. And they said to the man, "We do not have silver, we do not have gold, but what we have we will give you. In the name of Jesus, I tell you, stand up and walk." Well, if I was that man, I'd be like, these guys are crazy. But the man felt his legs getting stronger one at a time, and little by little, he stood up and he realized he was able to walk. Not only did he walk, he started leaping and dancing and singing and praising God. He was just so overjoyed from the fact that he was able to walk after 40-some years of not being able to. Well, as you can imagine, this caused quite a commotion in the temple. All these people came running. "What's happening? What's going on over there? Wasn't that man that used to beg all the time up walking?" Then, because of all that, Peter and John ended up doing something again very, very bold using their superpowers. They started telling all the people about Jesus. Now, the reason that was very bold was because at the time, the people in the temple thought Jesus was a liar, and that they thought the people who told stories about Jesus or told about Jesus were also liars. And a lot of times they put those people in jail. So the fact that Peter and John felt brave enough and bold enough and used their boldness superhero powers to tell these stories, over 5,000 people believed in Jesus that day. So it's amazing when you're bold for Jesus what kind of impact you can have. Well, that was quite an amazing story about Peter and John's bold superhero powers. Have you guys ever felt that it was hard to stand up and do something bold and brave for Jesus? We don't get thrown in jail if we talk about Jesus, but it doesn't mean it's any easier to be able to do it. If you see somebody being picked on at school, or if you see people doing something or talking about people that they shouldn't be saying or doing, or if all your friends want to do something that you know is wrong, it is really, really hard to step up and say, I don't think we should do this. But Jesus calls us to have bold superpowers for him. So what I want everyone to do is I want you to think of a superhero pose. Let's see, what can be my superhero pose? Okay, this is my superhero pose. Okay, everybody get into their own superhero pose. You found it? I'll give you a little bit more time. Okay, you got your superhero pose? Okay, take your pose and hold that pose. And while you're there, I want you to think about a a bold superhero power you can do for Jesus. Okay, hold that pose and think. You still holding it? Okay. Are you thinking? Okay. Whew. Okay. Shake out your arms. It's hard to hold a superhero pose. Did anybody think of something? Well, what I thought of is my bold superhero braveness for Jesus is going to be if I see somebody doing something or hear somebody talking about a group of people, I'm going to be bold and use my superhero power to say, you know what, guys? I don't think you should do that. I don't think that's right. And that's going to be my bold superhero power. So what you can do is if you came up with one, talk to your parents about it. Or ask your parents if they could come up with one of their own. And if you didn't come up with one, maybe you and your parents can talk about it together and see if you can come up with a bold superhero power for Jesus. Now, the other thing is Jesus knows that it is really, really hard to be bold for him. So he knows and he tells us that we can pray and we can ask him to help us. So let's do that together. Okay? You guys repeat after me. Dear Jesus, I thank you that you love us. I thank you for your kindness, your caring, and your compassion. Help me to be bold for you. Pray this in your name. Amen. Okay, guys, I'm going to show you this story on my Bible app. It's a wonderful way to listen to Bible stories. It's fun, it's interactive. So I'm going to show you that now.
No silver, no gold. Peter and John went to the temple. A man was there at the beautiful gate who had never been able to walk. He was begging people for money. "Can I have some money?" he asked Peter and John. The two disciples looked right at the man. They had no money, but they had something better to give him. "Look at us," said Peter. The man expected money. "I don't have any silver or gold," said Peter, "but I have something else that I will happily give you. In the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth," said Peter, "walk." Peter took the man's hand, and the man's feet and ankles grew strong. The man got up and walked. He went with Peter and John into the temple courts. Before long, he wasn't just walking, he was jumping around and praising God. The people had seen him at the gate. They knew that he had been lame from birth, yet here he was, walking and leaping and thanking God. Everyone was amazed. Peter told the people about the one whose power had healed the man. He told them about Jesus. When he was done, many of them decided to follow Jesus too.
So guys, that's the story about Peter and John and God giving us the superpower of boldness. It was so good talking to you. I miss you all so much and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.